Welcome everyone to our 15-minute desk wellness series class, Get Happier Now. Thank you so very much for being here. If you haven't worked with me yet, my name is Lance Breger. I'm the CEO and executive wellness coach at Infinity Wellness Partners, and my life is dedicated to not only making yours healthier and more productive, but happier. Tony Robbins says that success without fulfillment is failure. Our goal is to make sure that you have a meaningful, fulfilling, and joyful life. Right now, we're in the middle of a very, very tricky, interesting, and unpredictable time. My invitation to you is we do not wait to live and laugh and have joy and experience happiness until everything is worked itself out. We need to accept the responsibility of getting happier right now. And studies show that you can improve your baseline of happiness and that it's a habit. There are skills that you can practice every single day and every single moment to experience a higher level of happiness. Let's begin. First, I want to let you know that emotions are E-motions, energy in motion. Happiness is one of the emotions. It is not it doesn't stay. It moves through us. All emotions are temporary, including happiness. It's not okay to be happy 24/7, 365, every minute of your day. That's not what it's like to be. It's not realistic, and it's not the human experience. We can learn a lot from our heavier emotions or our unpleasurable emotions. So I want to first let you know that it's okay not to be okay. Also, it's important to know that emotions, we want to move them. We don't want to get stuck in our emotions and let them prevent us from moving forward towards our goals. So happiness, to create a realistic approach to it, is not a static state. I might experience all the emotions in one day. Maxwell Marx defines happiness as experiencing positive emotions most or the majority of the time. Not all the time, the majority of the time. So I want to let you know that it's okay to have moments that are not okay, or even days. But it's important to let you know that those emotions are supposed to move through you. They're temporary, like weather. It's not going to be sunny every single day. Same with the happiness. Now, it's important to know that your brain was not designed to make you happy. Your brain was designed to make you survive. And so you have adaptability of the brain. Have you ever had something really positive happen? Maybe a new car or a new position, or something awesome happened at work, or maybe in your life. And you were happy for a while, but then you adapted to it and that happiness kind of went away. Well, that's an adaptability of the brain that happens and is real. We also have a negative bias on the brain. The negative bias on the brain focuses on what's wrong, what could go wrong, what we don't have, what we're out of control of, and focuses on the negative, because that set us up for success with survival rather than focusing on what's right. Also, your hormonal balance, your emotional state is directly connected to your physiology, your biochemistry, and your hormonal balance. How happy are you when you don't get sleep? How happy are you when you're not exercising? When you're not eating the right foods or drinking the wrong things? If you're super stressed, how happy are you? Not so much. So by using your lifestyle, you can also have an impact on your mental state. So use the physical body and physical health to be able to improve your mental and emotional state. So so much to cover. Let's keep going and now start getting into the actual exercises. Do you have your writing utensil? Because we're not going to just think this, we're going to ink this to get 10 times the results. First is it's important to know that happiness is an inside game. It's nothing external. You are the only one that make you feel any way. Let me say that again a little bit clearer and more concise. No one makes you feel any way except you. That means your happiness is 100% your responsibility. Anything that happens externally has nothing to do with your happiness. If we are living and working and waiting for things externally to happen, if this happens, when this happens, then I'll be happy, that is going to be a very long wait. When things go your way, is that the only thing that creates happiness for yourself? Or can you, right now, find happiness within yourself? And that is the sustainable, healthy, and the only thing that you can truly control way, because we can't control the external events. Tony Robbins also mentions that there's an unhappiness formula. When your blueprint or the story of what happiness is for you doesn't match your life circumstances, you become unhappy. Let me say that again. When you have a blueprint for how life is supposed to be, or a story of how it's supposed to be, or what will make you happy, and life does not match that, you become unhappy. So what if you change your blueprint or your story of how it's supposed to be, and then experience a higher levels of happiness by taking control of what you can? Happiness is always an inside job, and I'm going to give you some exercises for you to be able to look inside to create that happiness that you can shine outward. First is you have to be able to define what happiness is for you. I also love defining what success is for professionals. What's happiness for you? What is that? If you don't define it, how will you know when you're experiencing it, or how to? So think about writing this down as your first exercise. Define happiness. One of my favorite exercises to do with clients is invite them in 1 minute to write down as many things or say out loud that makes them happy, that can cause them to feel joy, pleasure, to feel happy. Try it. Make a list of 10 things that cause you to be happy and schedule one of them every single week for the next 10 weeks, and notice if that raises your happiness level. What's also interesting about scheduling is when we have something to look forward to, our happiness level goes up, even if it's like a year or two out. So scheduling things and having a bright future, this is very important. I was just talking to a client who doesn't feel like it's possible to set future goals because things are so unpredictable. Well, you have to have a bright future to pull you forward. And that's how we create true resilience, is to be able to move forward, not go backward. And it's not about bouncing back, but it's moving forward with new thoughts, new actions, and a new way of living and working. So define happiness for you. Also create your list of happy-making activities and schedule those. And also notice how most of the things on your happiness list don't cost any money. That's also a very big clue. When we live our values, we create happiness for ourselves. When you don't live your values, it's a recipe for depression, illness, resentment, and stress. Let's go through this in your next exercise, is your values around these 5 categories. What are your values around family? Meaning, what kind of connection, frequency of family interaction do you need? For example, me and my distant family, we do a family FaceTime on Sunday nights. We text during the day, and I do have some direct family members that live in San Diego here, and I like to have plans with them at least once live a month. What about for you? What are your family needs? Who are the family members you need to connect to? And what frequency and in what method? Now, your social needs. What about social plans? How many plans do you need socially in a given day, in a given week? And what kind? To feel your best. When you're not having enough family time and enough social time, can you see how your happiness level goes down? So think about, what are your social needs in a given day or week? and then schedule them. And now let's move to mental needs. For your mental health, what do you need? Do you need time in nature, to journal, to meditate, to pray? What helps your mental health? These things impact your happiness. When you're doing these things, can you see how you're naturally going to feel better? How about your physical health needs? Exercise, sleep, food and beverage. How much sleep do you need and what bedtime do you need? How much exercise and what kind of exercise and movement and sport do you need? And what kind of foods and beverages are really best for your brain and your body that can help you feel better? It's important to get clear on what your values are so you can live them. Now go ahead and schedule them. And lastly, how about your time needs? Time and schedule needs are: when do you want to wake up? When do you want to go to bed? When do you want to start work? When do you want to end work? When do you want to take breaks and for how long? How long is a good lunch for you? How much time do you need before starting your day? Or how much time do you need before going to bed? Getting clear on what these values are and beginning one by one, living the most important one that can raise your happiness level is an excellent way to be able to create your own happiness. Now what I want to do is take you through the happiness 5-minute exercise that I learned from the book Happier Now. These are 5 different exercises that you can do to raise your happiness. The first is just being silent and being still. Just notice, just for one moment, close your eyes, still your body, and listen to the silence and the quiet. Just notice how you're feeling in this moment, how your energy is, how your mood, and maybe even rate how you're feeling on a scale of 1 to 10. 1 is very low, 10 is very high and good. Our next step is gratitude. Right now, say or write down or share 2 to 3 things that you're grateful for. I'll go first. I'm grateful for an awesome workout this morning. I am grateful for an opportunity to work with professionals around the world. An attitude of gratitude is an awesome way to be able to raise your happiness. If you do gratitude for 21 days in a row, saying 2 to 3 things, you're going to raise your baseline of happiness. Remember, you could always choose to be grateful. In any moment, that's how you create happiness within yourself. Is any moment you can always find something to focus on to be grateful for. Rather than focusing on what's wrong or what you don't have or what's out of your control, focus on what you do have, what you are in control of, and what you're grateful for. And notice how better you feel. When you're thinking about gratitude, it's hard to think about the other feelings, and that's the emotion that stays. Next is kindness. I love kindness. Do something for someone or make a plan to do a random act of kindness or a specific act of kindness. The woman in the gym that checked me in, she had wonderful energy. And I said, as I'm going to walk out, I'm going to tell her how bright of a light she is and to just shine it on everybody. I did that because I wanted to, and it made me feel good, and you should have seen her smile when I left the gym. So kindness, go ahead and do something kind to someone right now, or plan to do something kind to someone, or do a random act of kindness today. And notice you're already feeling better thinking about it and smiling. Now, also find meaning and purpose. When you have meaning and purpose, your happiness goes up because you're connected to something bigger than yourself. How you find meaning and purpose is, even in your to-do list, is look at your to-do list and ask yourself a question. How does this help someone? How can someone else benefit by what I'm doing today? Which gives you meaning and purpose, which is a way to boost the way you feel about yourself. And you can feel accomplished and proud that your life matters and your behaviors matter. And lastly, self-care. why don't you go ahead and say something kind to yourself, be compassionate to yourself, or plan to do something for yourself tonight. Like, I want to take a warm bath tonight and listen to I love listening to spa music and laying in the bath, depending on the season. I use that temperature to cool me down, just cool my eyes. So that's what I'm going to do for self-care tonight. And that helps me give myself some happiness. So here are the 5 little exercises we did. Accept where you are. Say out loud, write, or share 2 to 3 elements of gratitude. Go out and do something kind for someone, or plan to do it, or use an random act of kindness. Find meaning and purpose in what you do by identifying the things that you're doing and how it's going to help someone, serve someone, or support someone. And plan or do something today or now that can help practice self-care.